Hi guys, good evening. What I'd like to talk about tonight is a roundhouse kick, or otherwise known from the Muay Bowen circles as a drive kick. And when you watch Muay Thai fights, you see the round kick going either to the leg or up to the head. One of the main differences between what I'm going to show you tonight and the way you normally see it is a lot of roundhouse kicks come upward. And that's okay. But when you want to kick down at the leg, a couple of things come to mind here. Number one, you want to pick your knee up and go down on top of the thigh bone with the top of your shin bone. Okay, not down by the ankle or the instep of the foot. There's a few reasons for this. Number one, when you're hitting with the top of your shin bone, you're bringing on your body weight to the strike as well. And the other main factor is you're in close enough range to also use your hands and elbows. So it works really well. The other thing is, normally in Muay Thai fights or kickboxing fights, you don't see anybody usually set up an angle too often. They come forward, as they should in the ring. But what I'm going to show you tonight is the idea of setting up the kick, and you flank your opponent either 90 or 45 degree angles. A few reasons for this. On the side of the femur bone, there's a nerve center, okay, about in the middle, towards the front a little bit. If you bang it, you'll feel it. That's a perfect target acquisition for the top of your shin bone. The reason we don't want to use the instep or the ankle part or the lower part of the shin bone for an upper kick, number one, it doesn't have the power that the higher shin bone has. The higher shin bone's thicker, it's more muscles attached closer to your knee. Therefore, your body weight is attributed a lot better. And the other reason for not using the lower part of your shin is you're usually, when you kick, you're too far away to follow up with anything with your hands. And with grappling being what it is today, that's a useful point. You don't want to get taken down without at least being ready for it. And so therefore, when you're in closer and you're using the top part of your shin bone, it's real similar to taking a knee. The only difference being, like I said, when the kick comes around, it's going to come down. Okay, so without further ado, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, obviously, the only reason I'm using the arm bag is that it's just a representation of right and left. If somebody's either throwing a kick or a punch, it's coming straight at you. Or they're gonna bump and flank you or section you out or angle you out and attack you from there. But anyway, so for example, if this right cross or that jab, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't really make any difference, comes at me, and I have my left foot forward, obviously what I want to try to do is angle off anyway to get set for the kick. And then from that point, my knee is just going to drive forward, picking it up, and falling into the kick. Now the reason I want to do this, practice doing this, is that I want to generate as much power as possible from the washing machine, popping in your hip. It's not a snap kick, it's a drive kick, so hence the name. So you're driving your shin bone in with the torque off your calf muscles and the balls of your feet. So basically what you do, step here and then kick. Okay. When you hit, you fall, and then you can get right back up. And you can see I'm close enough to do various things, which is the idea. If I was using my instep out here and I kick, I'm way too far away to do anything. But if I use the top of my shin bone, I'm right here. So I have better center control of my opponent. And then the other thing about these kicks, they're very powerful. They're much more powerful than the instep round kick or the lower part of the shin bone round kick. And this is also the area that you block the round kick that takes the abuse, or you block any kick for that matter, a side kick, a push kick, anything. Works really well. It works well with your elbow as well. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to touch upon this tonight. So now let's talk about how to set it up. Okay? So as an example, you just practice with an arm bag or somebody throwing a punch. It doesn't matter. It's all partner practice stuff. Okay? You block, you step up, and come here, then. Now another important thing is when you throw the kick, your cover hand comes up over your head. So it's already blocked. If they throw something, you can react off it, or you can block a high kick if it's coming at you. But 9 times out of 10, when your opponent realizes the power of these kicks and the speed with which they can come, they're not going to be so fast to fire something while they're coming. They're going to be worried about it. So that's another benefit of it. It's a very powerful kick. So now, if I'm standing the same way, left foot forward, instead of going this way, okay, I'm gonna step with my right foot, and I'm gonna kick with my left leg. Why? Because I want rear-legged power. And when I do that, I'm gonna switch my feet. So I step here, I switch my feet, right? Okay. Now when I come down, I roll my hip over. Okay? And I'm hitting with the top on my shin bones. See, so that's the basic difference between the two. And when you start practicing this, your supporting leg, you want it bent. Your kicking leg, you want it bent. So there's a lot of hip involvement, but you don't have to be real limber to throw this kick. It's not necessary. But it's a devastating lower end kick. And it could be thrown anywhere on the body, but preferably nerve centers on the side of the femur bones, the front of the femur bone, above the knee. And if you have the knee balance, you can even strike it lower, coming down on top of the calf muscles. I've done that and it works. So what you want to practice doing is keeping your legs bent. It's kind of contrary to what we're used to doing with the regular round counts, because we stretch out like that. With this, you don't want to. You want to stay everything bent. So it's different. It's real similar to throwing a knee. So remember, when you're here, you parry, front kick, punch, whatever, just get in position. Unlock your legs, okay? And you can bounce off the ground and kick down. And literally fall into the bag. Get that feeling. And what that does, you're literally landing on top of the opponent, but you're taking their legs away. And it's devastating. If you get good at it, it's real devastating, because all of a sudden, not only are they dealing with your kick, they're dealing with all your body weight too. And you can follow up with knees and elbows and that kind of thing. So anyway, that's what I wanted to touch on tonight. Just came to mind. I was watching a kickboxing match, and I noticed everybody's kicks were going up. And through training, I was learning how to kick downward, but you don't see many people do it. The neck kick is designed, it's supposed to come up and down, but it's very rare that you see it. In MMA circles, people are kicking up at a 45-degree angle. Very rarely do you see a clean round kick. And what I mean by that, not so much to the head, but to the legs. They're usually real short, there's no hip rotation. And hip rotation is everything. When you pick your leg up, you see people practice, and they do this and they spin all the way around. But when you see them fight, you don't see them rotate their hip. I largely attribute that it's different when you're not kicking somebody versus when you are kicking somebody. So they have a tendency to want to get the leg back out. This kick requires commitment. You have to throw it. Just like when you throw a rear cross, you have to throw it in. When you throw this kick, you have to throw it in and turn your hip over and angle your belly down, angle your knee down, and aim for the femur bone. It hurts, and it's an awesome shot. And it doesn't, if you get good at this, it doesn't take too many, if not one, to get a person's attention, really, especially in the street. Now you could also use this as a sweeping action. Now that's where your lower shin bone comes in, or if you have a boot on, it protects all the little bones on top of your feet. The feet and the hands have all those little bones in them. So in martial arts school, we're doing everything barefoot. You ever kick somebody's elbow? It hurts, huh? You crack those little bones on the top of the foot, you're done. It's tough to maneuver because of the pain. So you want to, if you can, practice with shoes on. I wear steel-toed boots for work, but you want to practice like that and forget about the barefoot thing. Train with clothes on, train with shoes on. Get used to the idea. If you have tighter pants on, high kicks are out. The low kicks are in. They can still be okay. So anyway, this is what I want to touch on. Try to have some fun with it. That's what I do. Thanks for viewing me on YouTube. I appreciate it, everybody. And please, if there's any questions out there, email me, ask me. I love to answer questions and I love to help people. Okay? BillyBoston@gmail.com or Combative Fitness Workshop at hotmail.com. And so, like I said, down the road I'll have a website going, but not yet. So again, I hope everybody's having a good evening, and please feel free to ask questions, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.